welcome to episode 123 of Anime and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Shawn.
And this is the review show that reviews anime from A to Z. Sort of.
Alright guys, so last episode we spun for the numbers and symbol category, and we got 7 seeds.
We did.
It is a Japanese manga series and anime, written by Yumi Tamura. Manga was serialized in Shogakukan Shoujo Comic Magazine. I skipped a word there. The series won the 52nd manga award from that manga company. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it twice. For best shoujo manga in 2007, whatever shoujo means.
I was going to say, I don't know what shoujo
including
is.
digital sales. It sold more than 6 million copies in Japan. So, before we get too far into it, supposedly, people online, I was going through the 7 Seeds forum, the manga is like 1,000,000 times better. So, the issue is with the Netflix adaptation, that's what we watched, it's the only adaptation of it, is the pacing is really thrown off. Things are just kind of thrown in there and thrown around. So, like, plots of events are slightly different. Now, I didn't read the manga, so I don't actually know, but that's what these guys were saying. So, the anime is pretty bad, but supposedly, the manga's pretty good. Won awards and stuff, and people like it.
Yeah, but we could say that about every anime.
That's true. That's true. We're still going to review the anime, not the manga.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably say that about 81 TTS Airbats or any one of those.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, I'm sure because they have complete stories. I'm sure the mangas are better than the animes.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying
this is but for what I'm gathering is that they're objectively monumentally better. It's not even close.
Well,
you know what I mean?
It's like saying the books are better than movies.
Yeah,
of course they are.
It's a bad adaptation, apparently.
Well,
in this case,
that makes perfect sense because this anime sucks.
It's a jumbled mess. Things just happen left and right. Snap, snap, snap.
It took me 2 weeks to watch this. We only usually do it in a week when something
12 episodes.
12 episodes like that, and I just couldn't bring myself to watch it again. It is like dark unnecessarily, so dark. Everything.
It's dark just to be dark, and people are mean. We've said this about a couple other animes where they're mean, and they're going to be mean from the very beginning, and that's just their character.
Yeah, they're just characters.
They're comically mean.
They're one note.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's an optimistic one, there's the mean one, there's the capable one. It's stupid, and then
eyes wide shut, girl.
Right. And then there's like people are being like abusive to other people, and they're sticking around and taking it when they're outnumbering these people
like massively.
Yeah,
like
so
6-1.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. It's shit.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
It's one of those animes where you kind of want to be on your phone while you're watching it. Because I kind of have to watch it. It's not like I can just stop watching it.
Right.
But at the same time, things are happening so quickly that if I don't actually watch it, I'm going to miss something. So there was 1 or 2 times where I had to put my phone down and rewind it. Because, like, for instance, there's a rape scene in the second or third to last episode. Yeah. Or attempted rape scene, I should say. And, like, I was on my phone for a moment, and I look up, and this girl's being raped. I'm like, what the just happened? Like, how did we go from 0 to 100?
Yeah, and the motivations don't make sense.
Yeah, but that's a big one. Like, his motivation for raping her?
Yeah.
And we'll get into the characters a bit, but his motivation for raping this female character made 0 sense.
No,
maybe murdering her, maybe because he's psychologically traumatized, but, like, rape? What?
Right. No, it made no sense, because he didn't even show that side of himself at all up until
the rape scene.
Yeah,
it's not like he was creepy or, this or that or stalking her and liked her, but she didn't like him and like something happened.
There was no attraction. It was nothing but hatred from the beginning with him.
Mm-hmm. And even more hatred once he found out she was the daughter of the instructor.
So it made no sense at all, unless it was just a power dynamic.
Well, they say a lot of rape is that it's power dynamic, but at the same time, I mean, you have to kind of show a tendency to something like that, not just throw it out as something.
It didn't make sense for his character, period.
Yeah, not at all. So anyway, the whole premise, we didn't really get into the premise yet, did we? Is there is a comet coming to strike the planet, and it's big enough to where it's gonna, or multiple comets, I should say. That will be a human ending event.
Mm-hmm.
So they're training some people and taking random other people, throwing them in these cryogenic chambers, and having them sleep for an undisclosed amount of time. I assume it's until the sensors that they have in whatever ship they have or whatever capsule they have senses it's safe. I don't know what.
No.
They never went into it.
Not at all.
We don't know why they woke up or when.
Because people just wake up randomly.
Yeah. We'll get into that too.
There were some people who woke up 10 years before other people, so it makes no sense.
15, I think, the one guy.
And what is this bullcrappage about choosing random people? That makes no sense whatsoever.
It makes no sense at all. But let's finish the premise. Each capsule, quote unquote, has 7 people, 7 seeds, right? And for some reason, the people are separated from the capsules of resources, and they have to go walk to it. If you could put people in a capsule, you could have put the people in the capsule with the seeds, too. Like,
right.
What? That was so stupid. Let me walk over in that direction over there, and hopefully we'll find the place with the food in a week. Like, it's so dumb. That was so stupid.
I get not putting all your eggs in a basket, but it could be at least near, you know?
So, the premise is they're going to rebuild human civilization, which doesn't make any sense, because we know you need at least 3,000 to 5,000 humans just for the population of humans. You need 10 to 15,000 for human diversity. Black people, white people, Asian people. And different subsects of all those different things. And they've got, 5 teams of 7 people.
To be fair, this is Japan's.
That's true, but still, the government of Japan would be like, alright, we need more people than 5 or 6 teams of 7.
That's fair, but...
And there is a small plot point later on where they had bigger groups of people, but that weren't cryogenic, but, it's just a dumb argument to think that was going to work if you were also doing. So there's a group of people in a bigger, not in a capsule, but in an underground facility.
Oh, that was a flashback.
Yeah, well, I know it was a flashback, but that was it's the same thing. It was preparing for this.
Right.
But I feel like they kind of knew that wasn't going to work. But on top of that, if Plan B is only going to work or only going to be needed if Plan A fails. Well, Plan B needs to also be Plan A in the sense that it needs to rebuild human civilization, but it can't because there's not enough people. So Plan B didn't make any sense. It only would have made sense if there's more people in it.
Right, but again, this is Japan. Who knows what the other countries were doing? Because this was their plan.
And who honestly knows if there isn't huge sections of continents that weren't affected by the meteor?
Who knows? Maybe the meteor just hit Japan and destroyed Japan, and that was it. The civilization could be possibly still going for all.
Well, they said they were hitting the whole world, so taking it.
But you could say that, but that doesn't necessarily mean this is the type of show that would throw that twist at you.
The lottery thing was weird to pick for civilians because it was just one random woman won the lottery, sort of won the lottery. They came to her and said, "Sell us your son. We'll give you 2 million yen or so, whatever the number was."
Yeah, because
she sold them.
For some reason, one of the seeds had to be a bunch of delinquents.
Yeah. What's really weird about that delinquent character, one, is that he's aggressively an asshole for no reason. And two, in my opinion, there's a scene where he talks about being so poor that he couldn't afford a certain type of regular type of food that's over there. I think there's a certain kind of fish. But it's fish. Fish is pretty cheap in Japan because they fish. It's everywhere.
They're an island nation.
Well, he also just came from a Korean barbecue the night that he was drugged and put to sleep. Or a barbecue, I should say, not a Korean barbecue. Barbecues are expensive, too. If anything, it's more expensive. Chicken and beef versus fish. So all I'm saying is the writing doesn't make sense. It's the dialogue and the character motivation is stupid. And the reason for those things are stupid.
Here's my problem, and this is where I'm going to debunk your manga theory, because one of the main characters is conveniently the
girlfriend or boyfriend.
The daughter of one of the head things, and her boyfriend conveniently was picked in delinquent ones, even though he doesn't seem like a delinquent at all.
Well, they separated him on purpose. They put him in 2 different seeds.
Right.
And they gave him half of the same book.
But out of this whole choosing everybody thing, they just happened to choose...
Oh, yeah, so I don't think it was really random or anything.
Right.
The writing's terrible.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It doesn't make any sense.
That's why I don't think the manga is going to be good.
It's typical anime where this is happening and here's a bullshit reason for it. Just accept that bullshit reason.
When is the manga released?
We're actually still on here. So November 2001 to May 2017.
Oh, it's a long time.
Yeah,
I can see.
That's 16 years.
This feels like a 2001. There's enough tropes 2001 anime with enough updates for it to be modern.
Now that we touched on the boyfriend and girlfriend that were separated in the seeds, my biggest issue with the entire... I mean, I got many issues with it. We already talked about a lot of them.
Yep.
My biggest issue with this whole first season is they were... The one thing they were building up for the season is that they were going to find each other.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
No. It just stops halfway through.
It's terrible.
It makes me think that Season 1 and Season 2 that we're seeing in there...
were meant to be watched together.
Yeah, and that they were released at the same time.
But they weren't, and I know that because I remember watching a couple episodes of the first season when it first came out. and there wasn't a second season released.
Right, but they purposely knew they were doing a season 2, so they cut the story off halfway because they end the first season on a cliffhanger where the girl might or might not be dead, but she's not dead because she's the main freaking character.
And so the second season's out, so I didn't watch the episodes, but on Netflix you can look at the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's pictures from each episode, and there's a description. It looks like she meets up with him somewhere in late second season. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, well, it's stupid.
But I hope to God I never have to watch it. But yeah, it's just so terrible. Like, you're building up for this one thing. There's really nothing else that's being built up quite like this in the show, other than we gotta rebuild and not die from the giant insects and weird things that only show up when it's important for someone to die.
Right, but that's another thing, though. This for a show about this is Lord of the Flies, by the way. This is that book hands down without a doubt. But
ripped off in a bad way.
Yeah, but it's got a battle royale feel to it where anybody could die, but no one important ever dies.
It's only the characters you meet quickly that are unimportant. They'll die off from something, and then the rest survive.
Right. If they got a name and if they got a role, they survive with no problem. It's bullcrap.
And one of the characters is dressed in the military getup with a hat, and his eyes are always in shade under the brim of the hat.
Yeah.
And it's such a cheap way to make a character because you're not actually drawing anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's dumb. It's generic. So many other animes have done shit like that. Come on.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell, this show, we did not like this show at all.
Every now and then they go into some weird bullshit mystic shit where there's like short girls. Is it a girl and boy or are two girls? Black hair.
I know, they're cousins, but they're twins.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that kind of makes sense with their culture and the way their families can work over there, but I don't know. I don't know that for a fact, so I don't know. But it's dumb as because they're like, oh, we can sense where each other are at points.
Yeah,
and we're in different seeds for some reason. It's just dumb.
None of it makes any sense. It's all crap.
Yeah, there's a little bit of skin here and there. The girl with the dreads, that's one of the leaders.
Oh, yeah.
Towards the end, one of the angry boy with the barbecue wants to sleep with her. He's like, oh, please let me. And she's like, sure, but you have to be the father of this baby.
Yeah. It's got all the tropes of a crappy anime. You know, it's got to have the fan service that doesn't show anything fan service. It's got to have the optimistic anime protagonist. It's got to have the over the top evil antagonists and stuff like that. It's
terrible.
It's like this person. They took all the bad things from all the bad anime and put it into an anime.
Bad writing.
Yeah.
The art's okay. That's it, though.
Again.
Art doesn't make it, but, you know, it's something to judge. Art's okay.
Yeah, but when was this released?
The anime, 2020.
Yeah, exactly. Like and we've said this many times. When it comes to these newer animes...
They need to be good. Everything needs to be on point.
Yeah, you can't... Because good art is easy to come by these days.
Yeah. But, you know, the art's good. So there's that. That's one little section that's done. The voice acting?
I don't think I've seen an anime, or at least on this show, that we've done that was released in the last 3 years that had bad art.
I think that's fair. But still, it's something. If it was bad, then that would be a negative in that category.
Right. I mean, that's fair too. But it's like with computers and everything else, it's really hard to make a bad-looking anime unless you're hand-drawing it.
The cel-shading ones that they do, so like computer-generated, like the Berserk from 2016 is bad. Yeah. And some of the Netflix ones are really bad.
Well, I'm beginning to think that Netflix is a death tag.
Oh, for sure. But just physically on the animation part, some of the Netflix ones are terrible. Again, Gene is great, and so is the other one I've seen. I can't remember the name of it, but they're Netflix ones. They're good. We haven't come across those yet.
No.
What else to talk about? So the voice acting's okay at times, mostly bad.
But the dialogue's bad.
Yeah, the dialogue's terrible.
So I feel bad for the actors trying to...
The overall writing's terrible.
I feel bad for the actors trying to make these lines sound natural and devastating and stuff, but it's not. And then some episodes are devoted to full backstories that I don't give a crap about because it's nothing but dark for the sake of darkness.
Oh, that was terrible. I hate flashbacks, especially when they're bad.
I mean, I like flashbacks. I like a good backstory, but like...
I like backstory. Show it to me on screen.
Right.
Like, I don't need a flashback for backstory.
Oh, that's fair. I see what you're saying. Jumping back from the present to that. Like, I'm telling you this, and then it jumps back like that. That's a cheap way to get around it.
Yeah, I mean, it can work if you do it well. There have been times where I've enjoyed it, but generally I don't like it.
But, like, everything in this show has to be dark. Mm-hmm. No matter what...
The one light of hope is they're going to meet up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen.
No. It's like...
It's also the one real arc, right? There's no other half-decent writing in anything.
And that's another thing. There's no character development.
It's just, here's an episode, someone dies, and it's dark.
There's no character development at all. Like, we get to introduce a...
Well, I guess the one girl that's really timid.
Yeah, but she's still timid.
Terrible, right?
She's still timid.
She's still timid, but the girl with the dreads notes at, like, the last episode, oh, you're looking me in the eyes when you're talking to me now. You've changed. Like, you shouldn't have to tell me this person's changed.
Exactly. That's not character development. That's you telling me something's different, and it's not developing anything. It's you telling me there's a change happening. I forget where I was going with it. It doesn't matter. I hated this anime.
The only other thing I would talk about is the dynamic between the girl, I think her name was Hannah, the guy that wanted to rape her, and the whole backstory with the training of the leaders.
So the comic's coming. So was the comic coming at this point?
Yeah. So that's why they were training people.
So they were training people to survive, and they got a bunch of people together to train them.
And they specifically selected certain sperms and eggs and made them.
They're purposely made for this thing. They're to be the best of the humanity. They're supposed to rule over the rest of them, kill all the rest of the people,
and lead them.
And lead them, essentially. Yeah, but they're supposed to lead them. And it's a school for kids, and it just gets progressively worse, this training, as they start...
And any test you fail, the second you fail a test, you go into the meat chipper for the cattle.
Yeah, essentially, they say you're going home, but no, they throw you in a meat chipper, and that's it. It's like, why are you killing off people?
There's no reason to kill them all.
No, there's absolutely no reason for it. It's just so you can get that shock value when they put the one kid in the blood down there so he can figure out what happened so he can mentally break later, which is the kid that ends up trying to rape the girl later. And it shows that he's mentally disturbed from this, which is understandable, but it doesn't make any sense for that rape scene later, like we explained.
He ends up finding out about the meat chipper and all that.
Right. Probably
about halfway through all the tests, and then when they're like 17-ish is the final test. And the final test is they're going to secretly try to kill you. So, like, if you're climbing, a mountain with gear, well, the rope's going to be damaged. Or if you're making lunch or dinner, the food's going to be poisoned. Yeah. And, they just slowly die off until there's only 7 of them left.
Yeah, you get to the best 7, and which is not smart. Because then you get psychopathic killers, which the one guy is. You get psychotically broken people, like the other guy.
It's not just who's smart and who's physically capable to be a leader, it's also who's emotionally able to be a leader.
Yeah.
Because you just these children for 17 years, not a single one of them should be a leader.
No.
They've all been undercutting each other, trying to get ahead,
and they
killing each other.
And by the end, they don't even want to go.
Yeah, I don't think a single one of them wanted to, but they had to.
Yeah, it's... Ugh.
So the guy's, like, beaten down, all his friends have been dying, he's been trying to save this one girl, and she ran away from him for a bit, then she came back and saved him after he was hurt. Then they go to sleep, and it's been however many years. They wake up for the 7 Seed Project. He's angry the whole time. He finds some of the others. He starts leading them, but he's angry the whole time. He's always working everyone to the bone. And he comes across a Hannah girl, who's the daughter of the director. He finds out she's the daughter of the director and just, beats down on her.
And they know this guy is unstable.
And the other leaders, quote unquote, keep letting him be an asshole for no reason.
Yeah, and they let him lead when he's not the frickin' leader.
Yeah, like there's no one leader. They're all leaders of their own groups.
Yeah, so it makes no sense. None of it. It's all broken.
So, he's making her work real hard. He's probably hit her a couple times by this point. And it just comes to a head where he, like, throws her into a room and, starts trying to rape her, starts taking her clothes off.
But they even say that, because the one guy sends the other girl over to stop him from killing her, because he thinks he's going to kill her. But they don't go that route. I guess they thought rape would be much more devastating, which it would have been for her, and if this was well written, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think they didn't want to stop him. The only thing I can assume is they didn't want to stop him or kill him for being the prick that he is because he's a leader. He's been trained like them, so that would be detrimental to the group if he died, but not if she's tortured.
I can also understand that they have a bond with him because
they don't show it, though.
But I can understand that part of it. But at the same time, they should still be like, okay, we'll take care of this guy because he's our friend, but he shouldn't be bossing everyone else around.
Yeah. After the rape scene, they try to keep them separate, but that doesn't work.
No.
And then she's drowning
in
a river.
Then the other guys try to kill her anyway.
Yeah.
Just to keep him sane. Yeah.
So she after they try to kill her, they cut her a rope and she falls, but she's okay.
Because of course
they're in a cave and she falls in this underground river and she's holding on, and the guy's there that wants to rape her, and he's just standing there doing nothing.
She's got plot armor.
Yeah,
like I've never seen.
Everyone else catches up, but then she falls through the whirlpool.
Oh no!
And she's gone.
No.
Yeah, it's just terrible all around.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Overall, it's below average, that's for sure. It's at least a 4, probably a 3.
I was going 3.
Yeah, I'm thinking 3 as well. What else did we have for numbers and something? So we got 4 others this time. This is our 5th one. You really need a list.
No. I actually know what they are.
Oh, okay.
It's 801 TTS Airbats, Dot Hack, 91 Days.
91 Days was the gangster one, right?
Yes, and 009-1, which was the girl spot one.
Okay, 91 Days. Then what's the second one?
It was Dot Hack.
Dot Hack. Then what's this one?
Alright, let me tell you mine. I'll tell you mine. Mine's Dot Hack because of nostalgia. Then 91 Days. Then 009-1. Then 801 TTS Airbats. Then this.
We're flipping Dot Hack and 009.
Oh, okay.
Or not Dot Hack.
Yeah.
009 and
no, Dot Hack and 91 Days. Yeah. That's what we're flipping.
Anyway. It wasn't good. I wouldn't watch it.
But this one is worse than 801 TTS Airbats.
Mainly because 801 TTS Airbats is short.
And I think at this point, 123 episodes in, we both have a bit of nostalgia for it.
Yeah, for how much we hate it.
And because it was our first episode.
200 episodes we rewatch it. Done. Spin. You're going to have to remember that.
Yeah, no. Thanks.
Agent Ika?
Agent Ika. A-I-K-A.
Right.
That could either be bad or good, actually. 7 episodes. Well, it looks old. I was about to say
7 isn't terrible.
Yeah, but
Action Adventure is the tag.
But I was wondering if it was in the process of being made because it's only 7 episodes.
I don't think so, because look at the art.
Yeah, and then I saw the art.
Yeah. Plot summary. A catastrophic earthquake has left Tokyo, and most of the Earth, for that matter, under the sea. Ika, or I think that's how you pronounce her name, is a salvager who retrieves various remains from the watery ruins. When Ika accepts the dangerous mission of locating and obtaining the mysterious Lagu, she discovers that she's not the only one at it. Looks like it's going to be a bit racy.
Why do you say that?
I mean, you can see her tits. Her skirt's being blown up in the...
Oh, well, yeah, it's true. I'll click on the first episode.
Or the other one.
I want to see how long they are.
I would probably say.
The ads.
There we go. 29 minutes.
And so they're actually half-hour episodes.
Yeah. And it looks like it's going right into it.
All right.
Next episode, Agent Ika.
Yep.
See you guys.
Bye.